Kitakubu.
What's up everyone, KitaSean here. So we're going to go ahead and do something a little bit different in this video. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys which gacha banners are worth the roll for the rest of 2020. So as you guys know, we're in the second half of 2020 and there are a bunch of banners coming out for the NA version. So I thought I would give you guys my opinion and some tips on how to roll these upcoming banners for the rest of 2020 if you play FGOUSA. The reason why I'm doing this is because I get a lot of questions in the YouTube comments, my Discord channel, as well as my live streams. I get the same question all the time: should I roll for this servant or should I roll for this servant? And when I get that question, I try to be as honest as possible. I tell them, or I give them reasons why you should roll for this servant. Like for example, you should roll for Narrow Bride because of this, and this, or you should roll for Okta Altar because of this and this and this. Is that your favorite servant? Then why not roll for it? Do you have a 5-star archer that's really good? Hey, why not roll for this 5-star archer? Or do you have a farmer that's very useful? Why not roll for this farmer, kind of thing? So I try to be as honest as possible when it comes to which servant you should roll for, and yeah, like I thought we can do it again here on a video format. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the banners of 2020. So as you guys already know, I believe it's still going on. I know it's ending really soon. Gura Gura Teito Seihai Kitang, pick up summon with Okita Soji Altar and Okada Izo and all those other servants. This banner is ending pretty soon, so we're gonna go ahead and not just skip this. But after that is going to be Summer 2, so Revival of Dead Heat Summer Race. This is where Narrow Caster, Nobu Berserker, Frank Saber, and Nido Assassin comes in, as well as Saber Altar Maid, Rider, Helena Archer, and Raiko Lancer. All these servants are great, they are, but this gacha came out last year, so you don't really have to roll for this unless you don't have them. Like, I highly recommend picking up Narrow Caster. She's a great caster, attack caster, AoE buster. She can help buff out a servant with her 3rd skill. So Narrow Caster, in my opinion, is pretty nice to have. So I highly recommend rolling for Narrow Caster, as well as Frankenstein Saber. Frankenstein Saber is just so good, especially when a certain someone comes out, which we'll talk about in a bit. She's a quick saber and can do a lot of damage once that certain someone comes out, which I'm just gonna say it now, it's Scotty. Scotty is going to be like super great for it with any quick servant. But yeah, Saber Frank is a must-have if you do not have a really good saber, because Scotty will definitely help out. But if you're not planning to roll for Scotty, then I would just stay away from Frank Saber. Nido Assassin is actually really useful as well, and Nobu Berserker just hits like a truck. She's so strong when it comes to damage. But with Nobu Berserker, she does come back during the Gura Gura final event, so you can wait for that if you want to. But the other servants, it's probably going to be a while when we see them. So yeah, like I personally think if you really want a Narrow Caster or Frank Saber, I would roll this banner. The next one is Maid Altar and Raiko and Helena. Again, this banner is really good as well. If you want Maid Altar, she's really good. Quick rider, single target. Scotty is coming out, so she'll be able to do a lot of damage. Helena is actually pretty good as well. Not a lot of players know how to really use her. She's kind of tricky to use, but Helena Archer is actually really good. And Raiko Lancer is really good, especially if you have Merlin or any buster support. She does fall off the chart a little bit because of all these other Lancers coming into the game. Like a bunch of great Lancers come in later on, so Raiko does fall a little bit on the chart, but she's still nice to have. So if you don't have a Lancer, I highly recommend rolling for this. Like if you don't have a Rider, a single target Rider, or an Archer, then I highly recommend rolling for this banner. But if you already rolled for this banner last year and you were good on MP, then I think you can just totally skip on this. The Revival Death Jail Summer, you can skip this. Like you don't need to roll this banner at all. Like you don't really need Meb, you don't really need Nightless Sky caster. I mean, I guess if you really want them, then I'm not stopping you, but this is definitely a banner that you can totally skip on. Like, they're permanent anyways, so you don't really need the roll for that. Next we have Napoleon. Napoleon comes in Lost Belt Chapter 2. Lost Belt Chapter 2 is coming after summer, unless, you know, NA changes that, like they switch it around. But Napoleon is an archer. He is permanent, so I highly recommend you guys skip this banner. Like, he's permanent, like he'll eventually come to you. I mean, again, if you really want him, then I'm not stopping you, but I just think it's okay to skip, because you have a limited banner coming right after him, and then right after that you have Scotty. So yeah, I think it's okay to skip on Napoleon. So if you, yeah, we're also getting a guaranteed gotcha. He's going to be in there, so you can try to get him during that guaranteed gotcha. There's a bunch of great archers, so if you don't get him, you might actually get a really good archer like Gilgamesh, or like, you know, someone else. So I highly recommend skipping on the Napoleon banner, even though he's really good. He's like a tier below Gilgamesh, but I think it's okay to skip on Napoleon banner. Then we have Sigrid and Brynhilda and Valkyrie. Valkyrie is not limited, she's permanent, so you can always get her whenever you want. But if you want to prepare for Lancer farming, then, or you want to prepare for Archer Nod farming and have a Lancer AoE, then Valkyrie is definitely a must-have. But if you have Parvati, if you already have Parvati, then it's okay to skip her, because Parvati and Valkyrie are really good at farming. Both of them, it's like either or. Like, if you have Parvati, use Parvati. If you have Valkyrie, use Valkyrie, kind of thing. But Sigurd and Brynhilda are limited, and it's really nice to have these two as a couple in your team. I mean, recently we had a newspaper article of them, you know, going on a date, which was really cute. So I definitely want to get Brynhilda myself. I don't have her, but for those who are trying to get Kaiba, Sigurd, same voice actor, I would highly recommend this banner. But if you already have a really good Saber, then I can definitely tell you to skip on this. Like, Sigurd does come back during next year, New Year's, which we'll get into. But yeah, I think this banner is okay to skip. But if you really want Sigurd or Brynhilda, again, if they're one of your favorite servants, then I highly recommend rolling for them. Maybe the story of Lost Belt Chapter 2 might make you want to roll for Sigurd. I mean, that's... Ooh, I hit my mic. I mean, playing Lost Belt Chapter 2, I definitely felt a connection with Sigurd. Like, as in, like, I really liked him as a character. So that's why I rolled. So that might happen to you as well. Then we have Scotty. I 1000% recommend rolling for Scotty. She will make farming a whole lot easier. She'll make your life like easy in general. Like, not even just farming. She's really good for boss fights, challenge quests. But the only problem with her is that she is a one and done servant. As in, like, you need to clear that quest ASAP. If you prolong it, if you stall it, then she becomes very vulnerable. So she's one of those servants that you need to quickly clear, like, no pun intended. I mean, she is a quick buff and everything, but she definitely needs to be a support that allows you to clear that quest ASAP. So yeah, she's again really good for farming. She makes every quick servant in the game strong. Like, she's literally the reason why quick servants are really good again in FGO. So I again highly recommend rolling for Scotty. You can go ahead and roll for the single rate up banner for Scotty, or you can wait for the what do you call it, the singularity pickups, like Fuyuki pickup, Orleans, etc. Like, you can try and roll for servants that you don't have. Like, again, if you want to roll for London and you don't have Mordred, why not roll for Mordred and Scotty at the same time, kind of thing. So I highly recommend doing that if you don't have any of these servant rate ups, or if you're trying to get, you know, like if you're trying to get like more MP for a specific servant, then why not roll the story banners. So yeah, Scotty is, in my opinion, is definitely a must-have. And then you have your lucky bag summon, so you're guaranteed. If I'm not mistaken, this should be 15 paid quartz for NA this year, so not that expensive at all. I highly recommend this for every player, even if you're F2P for life. This is just so good not to do. So I highly recommend this. And this is divided into class banner. So again, Napoleon is right here. So if you really want Napoleon, why not try your luck in here? I mean, there are a lot of great archers in here. Tesla, Arturia Archer, Ishtar Gilgamesh. Those servants are so good. So rolling the Archer banner is like a safe, like it's a 50-50, but like I mean yeah, Arjuna, Moriarty, and Orion, but I still think the Archer banner is just a great guaranteed gacha to roll. As for Saber, Sigrid is there, so if you really want to try and roll for Sigrid, you can try there. But other than that, yeah, Shiki Saber, she is very limited, very rare to get. So if you need Shiki Saber, why not try to roll for that? Narrow Bride is there, great for arts party farming. Mordred is really good, and for those who are looking forward to get Mordred because of her animation update and her, you know, Trifus casual clothes and the next rerun for Apocrypha. Highly recommend rolling this. I mean, Musashi is there, Proto Arthur is there, Okuta is there. There are a lot of limited sabers in this banner, so why not roll for this? Like, I don't see why not. Like, again, these limited servants are pretty hard to get. Then the Lancer banner, Scotty, Erishkigil. I probably would recommend skipping this if you are trying to get Erishkigil. Erishkigil does come back at a revival later this year, so I highly recommend skipping this if you're trying to roll for Erishkigil. But if you're trying to get Scotty, I also actually recommend skipping this as well. I mean, unless you really want to try and get them, like, you know, but they do come back. So you don't have to really force yourself to roll for these Lancers unless you really want them. But personally for me, I think it's okay to skip the Lancer guaranteed gacha. Riders, I guess if you really want to roll for limited servants, like again Iskandar and Ivan and Maid Alter. If you're rolling for Maid Alter earlier this year or next for the upcoming event for summer, then I think this is okay to skip. I don't see why not skipping this, but again, for those who really want like Iskandar or whoever, then again, I'm not stopping you. But caster, I mean Merlin, Waver, Tamamo, this caster banner is just so good. Like, why not roll for this caster banner? If you don't have Merlin or Waver or anyone else, I mean, why not? Assassins, same thing. Why not? There are a lot of limited servants in here. There's Shuten, there's King Hassan, Semi, there's Heroine X, Cleo, there's Jack the Ripper. Like, the only servant in this banner is probably not worth the roll is Osakaba Hime. She's she's permanent, and she's like whatever's right now until she gets her buffs. So yeah, I think this assassin banner is like you can't lose in this assassin banner. It's like a win-win no matter what, unless you get Osakabe Hime. So this assassin banner is just too good not to roll. Next we have Berserkers. Same thing with Berserkers. This Berserker gacha is too good not to roll. You have Raiko, Ku Alter just nice to have. You have Alter X. You have Kintoki in there. So yeah, this Berserker banner is, you know, to me is like a really good banner to roll. Then you have your extra class banner. I mean, why not? Extra class servants are usually limited, so if you want to try to get J Alter, or if you missed out on Okuta Soji Alter, or if you missed out on Abby Hokusai kind of thing, then why not roll for this? If you do roll Okuta Soji Alter in this banner, then you can totally skip on the banner next year for the Guda Guda rerun. But next we have Summer 3. This is where a lot of good servants are coming out, especially Banner 1. Banner 1 is probably, in my opinion, the best banner out of all the banners for Summer 3. You have Jannu Archer, who is just so good when it comes to arts looping. A lot of people trash on her because of her attack damage is whatever, but she is very underrated in my opinion, and a really good archer, arts farmer looper. Same thing with Ushi. Ushi is really nice as an assassin AoE quick, so she is great with the Scotty system. You do need to level up their MP a little bit, both Jannu and Ushi. That's the only problem, but other than that, I think this banner is definitely worth the roll. And then you also have Ibaraki Doji. Ibaraki Doji Lantern is, you know, she's not used as much, but she's nice to have. Her MP animation is actually really cute. Then we have Dantes, Gilgamesh, Caster, and Robin Hood. If you really want Dantes, who in my opinion is one of the best farmers in the game, then yeah, roll for this banner. This banner is definitely a must if you want a really good consistent farmer, and that is Dantes. You need to get him at MP2 at least to do that, so I highly recommend rolling for Dantes here. If you're trying to roll for the CEs, like, you know, the male CEs, then skip this banner. The next banner, BB, is going to be getting all the CEs. So as you can see, the first banner CEs and the Dantes, the male CEs are in there. So if you are trying to roll for CEs, then just roll for the second banner there. Mr. Heroine Double X and then BB are there. Those two servants I know are a lot of people's targets. Personally, I think you can skip this if you really don't care for them, like BB and Mr. Heroine X. Like, this entire event comes back next year. So I think it's okay to skip this if you don't really care too much about these servants, because again, they come back next year. So you can have like an entire year to think about it. Like, do I really want Janu Archer? Do I really want BB Summer? You know what? I'm gonna hold off I'm gonna hold off rolling and wait until next year. And if I really want them, I'll roll for them then, kind of thing. So I think it's okay to skip this, but at the same time, if you really want an Archer, Looper, or a really good AoE assassin, maybe a servant that can lock your cards, then yeah, I highly recommend rolling one of these banners. Like, again, I think Janu, Ushi, Dantes, and I'll just say BB because she's very unique, are probably worth the roll. Everyone else is like, you know, it's okay. Scrolling down a little bit, I think you can totally skip this banner. This is whatever's, honestly. But I'm not even sure if you guys are getting this banner, to be honest. Fate Grand Order Memories. If I'm not mistaken, this was for the book, right? The illustration book, the CE book. So I'm not even sure if NA is getting this. So yeah, maybe they'll name it something else, probably. Like, I don't know what they can name it, or I don't know how they can celebrate this, but this might not come to NA. I'm not sure. Again, this is a banner that was celebrated in JP for the art book, so for CEs. So I don't know if this is coming to the NA version. And then we have the download milestone, 14 million download milestone banner, which brings back Arteria Archer, Marie Caster, as well as Martha Ruler. This I'm not sure either. To be honest, I'm not actually sure what NA does when it comes to download milestones. Like, they bring it a little bit early, right? I think I might be totally wrong there, but I can definitely see this coming in a little bit early, like 11 million download or 12 million download, because I know recently NA hit 10 million. So I doubt that they're near 14 million. I might be totally wrong. I'm not looking at the numbers right now, but I think they might be closer to 11 million or 12 million. So I can totally see them celebrating this banner with that, but I doubt that they'll be celebrating 14 million for this banner. Next, the revival of Fate Accel 0. This is your chance to get Iskandar once again, but I think this banner is okay to skip unless you really need waiver. I think waiver is a must for anyone, so I would highly recommend rolling for waiver if anything. As for Dermott Saber, I think it's okay to skip on him. I mean, I was able to get him. I think he's permanent, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he's permanent. I might be totally wrong, but if you're trying to roll for Dermott Saber, then I think it's okay to skip. I know he gets a rate up and everything, but I think it's okay to skip this banner if anything. Like if you already have waiver, or if you already have Iskandar, then skip it. Or if you don't have Iskandar and already have waiver, it's okay to skip. Like, Iskandar is like not a must-have, but if you want him as character, then I totally understand. I know I rolled him because he's my favorite character, but I think revival is okay to skip. There aren't that many great CEs in there anyways. Like, the 5-star CE is already nice, but you get that eventually, because you know you roll into that randomly because it is permanent. And then we have the Kilmahu 2018 gacha. This one I don't know at all. I don't think NA is getting this. They might change it up to celebrate something else. I really don't know. Like, this gacha was specifically for Kilmahu, which is a anime event in Kyoto, Japan. It's basically a gacha where it brings out Wahoo servants who are Japanese servants. Wahoo meaning Japanese. As you can see, Raiko, Shuten, Okada Izo, and Yagyu are there. I would highly recommend rolling for this gacha if it does come out in NA, because I mean, Raiko and Shuten are limited. The next time they get a rate up is pretty pretty long. I don't even think they got a rate up recently, actually. But Okada Izo is limited, and you can try your luck to roll for him. But if you already have Raiko, Shuten, and Yagyu, then I would skip this and wait until next year for the Guda banner rerun. Okada Izo does come back during then. So if you want to roll for Okta Alter and Okada Izo, then just wait until next year. Like, skip this if it does come to the NA version. I don't know if this is coming, because again, this was celebrated for the anime event in Japan. Next we have Battle in New York. So Battle in New York, Gilgamesh comes back. The rate up with Caesar and Mitarashi. Mitarashi Caster comes in. I don't recommend rolling for this gacha if you already have Gilgamesh, but if you're looking for the CEs, then I mean, why not? Level up your Gilgamesh to MP5, why not? But yeah, if you already have Gilgamesh, then don't roll for this at all. But again, CEs are nice to have for Battle in New York, but the rerun, these CEs are whatever. It's like I don't think we use these CEs anymore, so for next year. So I highly recommend not rolling for this banner at all. But if again, just use the free CEs. Like, the free CEs will get you everything you need. So, but I don't think you need to roll for Gilgamesh unless you don't have him. If you don't have Gilgamesh, roll it. Then next we have the Halloween Revival. You can skip this banner. This is like whatever, unless you really want that Nightingale CE, but I think this banner is okay to skip. Interlude Story Campaign 7 banner. If you want Ku Alter, then I highly recommend this, but if you don't, then just skip it. Halloween 2018. I think this banner is okay to skip too. Even though I know Shitonai is story locked, I think this banner is totally fine to skip, unless again you want the CEs. But you guys know, we all know that you guys want the free CE. The free CEs are what you guys want because of the design wise, you know, the what do you call it? Saber, or not Saber, Lancer Arturia Alter CE. That's what you guys really want. I know that. But if you really need CEs, then I guess roll for this. But if you're only aiming for the servants, then totally skip it. Abigail comes back for the 15 million download campaign. Again, I don't know if you guys are getting this banner maybe a little bit earlier, like 13 million. I really, again, don't know. But we got this in JP for 15 million downloads. So again, I don't know if this is coming out for NA. So we'll just have to wait and see. But if you don't have Abby, then why not roll for Abby? Then we have Urishkigil and Enkidu coming back for the Revival Christmas pickup summon. I mean, if you want Urishkigil, then yeah, roll for it. But if you don't need Urishkigil, then don't roll for this banner. There's no reason, unless you want to get spooked by Anna all the time again, like myself. Yeah, like, this banner is just so harsh because you have Urishkigil, Elkidu, and Anna, and all these other Lancers. The spook hurts. It really hurts. It does. But I know a lot of you guys have really fell in love with Urishkigil because of the Babylonia TV anime, so I won't doubt you if you roll this banner for Urishkigil. So yeah, try to get Urishkigil if anything. And then we have Sin. I think Sin, Lost Spell Chapter 3, you can totally skip. I regretted rolling for this banner, both of them actually, when it came out in JP. So yeah, there's no reason to roll for this banner at all, especially the top characters. They are permanent, and then the bottom characters, you know, even though some of them are story locked, Mothman, Shi Huangdi, Ruler, he's nice to have, he really is, but it's not necessary. You are good enough if you have Sherlock. You are good if you have Jannu. So Shi Huangdi is not a servant that is a must-have. Like, you can totally skip Lost Spell Chapter 3, just wait for other banners for next year kind of thing. And then we have Christmas. Quetz is coming, Martha Ruler is coming back, Martha Ryder gets a rate up, and Bradamante comes in for the first time. Bradamante is permanent, so you don't have to roll for this banner, but if you really want her, then I'm not stopping you. But this banner is not worth the roll in my opinion, unless you really want to get Bradamante right away kind of thing. Like, I think I rolled this banner because I thought Bradamante was limited, but I found out she was permanent. So yeah, you don't need to roll for this banner ASAP. But if you really want to get Martha Ruler, I guess roll for it, because this banner does not come back next year because it doesn't get a rerun for some reason. So yeah. but I think this banner is okay to skip. And plus the quets you guys want is free, the welfare ruler. So yeah, I don't think you need to roll for quets, right? But also Shi Huangdi ruler, like you're gonna get a free ruler anyway, so you can totally skip Lost Spell Chapter 3 because you're getting that welfare ruler. So yeah. And then FGO Winter Fest, I don't know if you guys are getting this as well, because this was something that was celebrated in Japan. It was a real event in Japan, FGO Winter Fest. So this is like a 3-part banner if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I don't think you need, oh no, 4-part banner, I'm sorry, the 4-part banner. And yeah, I don't know if you guys are getting this banner. This was definitely a banner to get, you know, Napoleon and Valkyrie, but I don't think the NA version is getting this. So yeah, but when it comes to New Year's, I'm gonna stop here for the rest of the year. I'm not gonna go through that, but I'm gonna stop here for New Year's. New Year's, you guys will be getting again a lucky bag, and then you'll be getting rate ups for Scotty, Sigurd, Narrowcaster. So if you're trying to again get Narrowcaster during the rerun of Dead Heat Summer Race, then I would just recommend rolling for New Year's. Same thing when it comes to Sigurd. If you're trying to roll for him during Lost Spell Chapter 2, I highly recommend rolling for him here, because Scotty is coming up after him for this year. So skip Sigurd, go for Scotty, and then New Year's, go for Sigurd, kind of thing. So yeah, I highly recommend rolling for Scotty. Everything else, like, it's like skippable. It really is. So yeah. But again, I'm not stopping you from rolling. That's your decision. But that's just my opinion on what banners you should roll for, why you should roll for them, kind of thing. But I will always recommend rolling for Scotty. Scotty will make your life easier when it comes to farming, and sometimes even challenge and boss fights. So yeah, that's basically about it. So yeah, that was something I thought I can do for the NA version. Again, I don't really think the second half of 2020 has amazing banners, but there are a couple, but I don't think it's fully amazing. Like next year, we're getting a bunch of crazy banners for NA, so I would probably just save your courts for that. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.